Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the 2026 GSL CK number 4, day 2 here, the final day, the final series, the grand finals of the tournaments. I'm of course VIP. With me, I'm joined by these final top 2 players here. It's going to be a ZvZ matchup, Reynor versus Solar. When was the last time we had a ZvZ finals? It's been it's been a long time. It's been a very, very long time here. So we're jumping into another Zerg versus Zerg matchup here. Of course, bearing in mind, this is the PTR edition as well. We're on the PTR. We're in version 2.1. Is that what we're going to be calling it here? As it has been a bit of a stealth patch to the PTR. It has made some changes, but regardless, we have our ZvZ, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the blue Zerg player. With the blue Zerg player himself, we have the South Korean Zerg. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. It's a 10 pool once again, by the way. We have the red Zerg player. We have the Italian Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. Vamonos. Here we go. We're jumping to the grand finals here. Best of 7, by the way. Best of 7 grand finals. We saw this in game 1 versus Lambo, but Solar, he's going for a 10 pool. So 10 pool Link Flood out of Solar. We did see this catch Lambo off guard previously in the tournament in the semifinals, where Lambo went for a standard hatch gas pool, did miss the early Lings, was caught with his pants down, pulled the boys, lost all the drones, lost the expansion as well, and the game did end real fast and real quick. We'll see if Solar can pull this off again. Now, I'm certain that Reynor was watching that last series and watching that ZvZ between Lambo and Solar, so I'm sure that build is in the back of his mind. I'm sure he's aware of how Lambo responded, reacted, and I'm sure he has his own ideas as to how to correctly, or how to maybe adjust that response, and how to maybe even defend, save the natural base, and build up into a longer game. We'll see, as here comes a Link Flood. Here comes a Link Flood, here comes the 10 pool. As Lings are flooding out across the map. And also, as we flood across the map, if you want to help support the GSL, if you want to help support the GSL and GSL CK, you can do so via Patreon, patreon.com/GSL. The Patreon has been, or because of all the support on Patreon, we have been able to fund GSL CK, this monthly tournament series with a bit of a flexible format, some team league formats, some otherwise bracket formats as well. Has all been funded by the people, for the people. Likewise, GSL Season 1 and Season 2 also funded via the Patreon as well. Meanwhile, here we go. The boys are being pulled. Reynor, he has to minimize losses, make sure he does not lose as many drones. That's around. Oh no, he gets 1, he gets 2. Massive pickups. Very nice drone drilling here, and Solar does slip up. Yeah, Solar, he slips up his control with that 2 Lings already getting surrounded. Some brutal control there by Solar, and Reynor, he's holding. So far, he's doing well. Plenty of HP on the hatchery. Oh, does lose 1 drone. Not even. Oh, up. Ooh, 1 drone goes down. Nice pocket here in that mineral patch. Yeah, very nice pocket. More Lings have arrived. You can see Reynor buying time for his own Zerglings, buying time for his queen. And again, Reynor should be able to hold on here. Yeah, the game will continue. Now, once again, very nice drilling here by Reynor. Oh my god. He drills well. We'll lose 3 drones in total, but Reynor, he still maintains a higher worker lead at 19 drones to 16. So Reynor, he defends, he secures his natural base. Solar just now finishing up his own natural as well, and Reynor, he will take a lead early on. So again, a very nice control out of Reynor, very nice micro when it comes to the workers. Solar did slip up, getting surrounded early on. And with that, Reynor, he does have a comfortable lead here, droning, saturating, claiming his gas. Likewise, setting up. I should emphasize that, of course, Reynor did delay his gas geyser, but so did Solar. With that, Reynor catching out 1 of the drones. Does catch 1. And will pull away. It does pull away here. So again, Reynor, he is looking quite comfortable so far. Right now, the pressure's on Solar. When it comes to ZvZs, when it comes to mirror matchups in general here, having a worker deficit is brutal. It's very, very difficult to recover from this. The pressure is very much so on Solar. When it comes to, I mean, there are ways to do so. Say 2-base muta or Ling run-bys, Ling counterattacks, some kind of aggression. We'll see what Solar does try to get into here to try to catch Reynor off guard, to try to recover in this game. Link speed is on the way. Reynor stays in gas. As Reynor, he will lose 1 drone. Okay. 1 drone goes down. Solar, he does invest into link speed, but he's starting to wall off. So Solar, he's walling off on 2 bases, and what's important here is that this setup that Solar has at the natural makes it look like 2-base Roach or 2-base Muta. That's what it perceives here. That's what we're perceiving. What I mean by that is that Reynor should not be expecting link speed, right? Link speed should not be being researched, because the idea here is that Solar wants to go into Roach heavy play or Muta heavy play, whereas Solar is going for an all-in. You can see here he's going for a link flood. He's hiding all these Zerglings. Now, because of what Solar is showing to Reynor, Reynor should not have a Baneling Nest, and there isn't. There's no Baneling Nest, so Reynor's going to have to defend with purely Link Queen. It's going to be a Link Queen defense against a Link Flood from Solar. A Baneling Nest would be ideal here, but Reynor, based on what he's seen, should not have a Baneling Nest. So here comes the all-in. Again, massing up more Zerglings. We're still waiting for link speed to kick in. We have +1 Carapace on the way. Interesting, just revealing the upgrade. Solar now claiming his 3rd. Again, he wants to make it look like a standard build, and here comes that flood. Here comes Solar. A little bit premature here, as Reynor is about to confirm. Reynor, he's still droning, by the way. Oof, he's still droning up. Still has no idea. Now he does. Yeah, now he sees. Oh my god, massive catch. Yeah, massive revelation. Solar, he does commit across the map, but Reynor back at home. He has to evacuate the 3rd base. The 3rd base is forfeit completely, and we'll see if he can wall off. Yeah, Roach Horn is done. But again, Reynor, he's droned up so much. He was actually mid-transfer. No! Yeah, has to pull away again. Hatchery will go down. Oh, wants to bait out the army. Yeah, wants to bait him out, and does almost get this round on the Queens. Casito. Queens, they pull away in time. Boys are pulled here to buffer. And once again, a Reynor dancing with death. Does avoid that surround. Mosula's the expansion. And Solar, it's taken too long here. He does not get in. Yeah, it doesn't get in. Reynor, he will survive with a higher worker count on 2 bases. Remember, Solar's 3rd base is very late, so killing the 3rd base is not good enough. Not good enough. And Reynor behind this going for the Spire. So again, very good reactions here by Reynor to be able to evacuate, pull away, wall off the natural, avoid the surround. A lesser player would have just died. And now Reynor, he has that tech advantage. Reynor, I would say, is still in a better position. Still in that better position. Throwing down a wall of Spine Crawlers. Again, Reynor's trying to get away with Mutas. A way to gain map control and to force back Solar. Solar still committed. As he's now droning. Droning, saturating, switching into Roach production. +1 range is on the way. Roach speed as well. Meanwhile, the Spire is now done, and we should be seeing Muta production soon out of Reynor. There we go. Here's now on the way. Reynor scouting across the map as well. Will now confirm saturation and the army. Does get eyes on the Roaches. Now, I didn't see Reynor getting 13 Overlord kills like we saw from Solar in the previous series, but we'll catch some Overlords nonetheless. As here come the Mutas. Does find one. And the Overseer as well. So he commits across the map. He wants to end the game. He will cut workers here at 57. So he's sending it. Taking free hits, taking free damage. Ooh, and Solar, yeah, he pulls away. He does pull away at the same time. Massively counterattack. Gets into the natural. Do we surround? Not quite. Yeah, Queen does get away. Roach is getting surrounded. Leaves a peel off into the main base, and Solar turns everything back around. He races back home to defend. Going for the Hydrogen. Bleeding out drones. Queen should fall as well. And Reynor, he just overwhelms. Yeah, he snowballs out of control. Gaining map control. Going across the map as well. What's the anti-air looking like? Spores just now being thrown down. Only just now. Yeah, heavy losses for Solar. I see we lose Ravagers, Roaches, Overlords, everything, Papi. Oh no! Links, they sit by it. And again, it's all falling apart. Just so much free damage on the Roaches. Reynor, he will abandon the main army. He goes across the map. He gets into the mineral line. He wants the queens. He gets one. He gets two. Okay. Gets two queens. A spore as well. And this is critical damage. Critical damage here. Came with the production. Going for the economy. Solar, he has to just F2 across the map. He goes for the all-in. The base trade. We're going for the base trade, Pat. Oof. We have queens. Defensive roaches. Reynor trying to hold on. We are fighting out of range of the spine crawlers, which is a little bit concerning. Uh-oh. Yeah, Solar is gaining some ground. But GG. GG gets called. There's nothing back at home. And Reynor, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Reynor, he will take a lead in the series. He got a very cheeky start out of Solo going for the 10 pull, but Reynor, he shut it down. He had a very impressive early hold. Solo's follow-up was to go for a big 2-base all-in. Did have a 3rd base behind that eventually, but it was a massive link flood, and Reynor was caught off guard. He was caught off guard. He had a very haphazard, a very last-second response to it, and he responded well. He evacuated the 3rd base. He pulled the boys, protected his queens, and was able to buy enough time for roach production. And with that, Reynor, he was able to hold on, defend, get away with his lair, and get into Spire and Muta play. And with that, he just snowballed out of control. Solo, he was forced into an all-in from there. He tried to get some damage across the map, but again, Reynor just had a massive lead, had enough Mutas to punish, enough ground army as well. GG. GG, well played. With that, Reynor take lead in the series, but remember, this is a best of 7. Best of 7, plenty of games ahead of us, plenty of games to come. We'll see if Solo can bounce back. We'll see if Reynor can extend his lead. Let's go. Alright, let's go. Screenshot Soul ZvZ is balanced. I mean, I will say that PTR changes, like due to how mirror matchups work, especially like where we're not seeing anything too like egregious like here for sure. But it is a bit of a shame that the amendment patch happened after day 1, after we lost all the Protoss and most of the Terrans. Like we it's after we lost Clem, Classic, and Hero that like, okay, now we can try to like fix things up. I mean, you could also argue that they you know, they were like martyrs in their own way. You know, they went down just so that the change can be pushed through into the PTR, I suppose. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg down in the series, but we'll see if we can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player from the land of Italy, from Italia, papi, representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. Here we go. Oh. As we are getting into game 2. This time we're droning, we're saturating. Remember, game 1, Solar did start things off with a 10 pull. This time we are droning up, saturating, and building up into a standard early game. So far, at least. Welcome to Title Citadel. Title Citadel is a bit of a larger map. I mean, a little bit more so than, say, 10,000 feet or Tourmaline. And again, once again, I'll say that we haven't really seen too much ZvZ in said PTR either. Don't really think there are many changes that will influence ZvZ here outside of course, a larva change. Will allow for potentially a faster setup in towards the mid game. But so far, it's been non-stop aggression from our Zerg players. We'll see if that trend continues. Most likely will. Of course, we have our goal base here towards the bottom left-hand corner, which may factor in. I mentioned this previously, but I don't really expect to see too much mid to late game in this series, in ZvZ in general. It's quite rare to see. Like, very often we just see a lot of aggression, a lot of high octane in the mid game. So now we have our hatch gas pool, standard openers. So far, so good. You could make an argument that the queen reduction change will make it a little bit easier to reactively respond to like Spire and Muta play to be able to get into a slightly higher queen count. But even then, like what's important is that these like we haven't had the chance to kind of have that kind of response. Like Muta play did occur last game, but Reynor already had a lead, of course. Like it's important to bear that in mind. Already had that advantage. So now Solar does pull one out of gas. Reynor does as well. This is a standard gets. Pulls one out of gas. From here we claim our third base into a safety Baneling Nest as well. We'll see if anyone skips their Baneling Nest, and we'll see if anyone goes for an early Evo Chamber. But so far, this is the most standard ZvZ we've experienced the entire broadcast, including the previous ZvZ with Lambo and Solar. We're calming down. You know, yep, there we go. We have our standard Baneling Nest timings at 320. Baneling Nests are thrown down. And from here, we should get some safety Banelings. From here, we might see one of the players invest into a heavier Ling count to apply some pressure. That's something that we could see. Otherwise, we should then drone up into 3 bases and then take up into Roaches. So still looking for any kind of big deviation. Say an Evo Chamber, Roach Warren, faster lair, earlier Ling aggression. Otherwise, we're calming down. So we do throw down our first Evo Chamber from the side of Solar. Oh, Reynor going into a faster lair. Okay, interesting. So a much faster lair here by Reynor. This might be indicative of an early Spire. Bear that in mind. That was a 417 lair timing. Solo going for his Evo Chamber into Roach Horn into a much more standard follow-up. Into a more Roach heavy style. +1 Carapace is on the way. So with +1 Carapace being built, there's a high chance that Solar may just not go for the lair at all and just go for like a hatch based all in with +1 Carapace with Ling Roach Ravager or Ling Roach. Yeah, we're going for the Solar build. Usually when Solar does this, like the Evo Chamber is a little bit earlier and it's hidden here behind the base to make it harder to scout. But the reasoning and the rationale behind going into Carapace is because this will impact all units here for Solar, the Lings and the Roaches, as we commit. And Reynor, he is rushing Spire. Does Reynor just die here? Like, do we... Because again, Solar's going for the all-in. He's committing, Roach production's underway, Lings are flooding as well. Solar plans on killing. Oh, baits at the Baneling. Oh, baits at one of the Banelings, baits at the other as well. The Queen is under fire. Queen gets knocked down. Catching out the Queen, shutting down another Baneling. Drone's going to be falling as well. Heavy losses here for Reynor already. Again, Reynor, he was so greedy rushing into mutas. He was greedy. He does get somewhat punished. But Solar's droning. He is droning up. He is getting a lair. Solar, he doesn't commit. Roaches are moving out, that is true, but Solar, he's droning up behind this. Like, he's not committing. So he reveals the Roaches. He does not commit. He pulls away. And which means Reynor, he gets away with the Spire. He's done it. We have a wall of Spine Crawlers just in case to survive it against the push. Wall of Spine Crawlers. We can cancel. Yeah, there we go. There's the cancellations. Reynor, he does realize now that it is not an all-in. He's like, oh, thank God. And Reynor, he will gain map control. Now, the question becomes, yes, he will gain map control, but with 7 more Roaches on the way, can Solar do enough counter damage to equalize? Can he potentially even break the third? Mutas are revealed. The pressure is now on Solar. As Reynor can now freely drone up. Freely drone. Solar, he has amassed up some Roaches. But then he will lose map control. And he's just droning. Yeah, Solar, he's just droning up. So Solar, he's going to try to stabilize and turtle up on 3 bases. Getting his own Spire. Faster upgrades out of Reynor. And Solar is running up heavily, don't get me wrong, but Reynor should be free to get a 4th base as he cashes out more Overlords. No transfuse. No transfuse back. And again, I do think that if Solar had committed with his +1 carapace timing with his Ling Roach all in, I do think he would have just broken the third base and might have even got more damage there as well. But again, Solar didn't know that it was going to be 2-base like Spire. Like, he didn't know that it was such a fast lair and such a fast Spire. He didn't realize how vulnerable Reynor was. As Reynor's poking in. Once again, just containing Solar. Doesn't quite catch the Overlord. We have 11 Corruptors on the way. Corruptor Queen should be enough to defend. So Reynor's coming to that fourth base. As we mentioned, because of Reynor's map control, he's free to expand and get a fourth. And Solar should be contained. Oh, hello. Yo, we're going for the goal. Okay. Cheeky moves out of Solar. I don't see him maintaining this gold base, but hey, why not? You miss all the shots you don't take. True. Sneaking out the gold. It's about to be scouted as Reynor tries to take it himself. Oh no. Not like this. Does find the gold base and will be denied. There's a cancellation. Now the real question becomes, can Reynor maintain this gold? How many Corruptors? 17. Gee, almost as many Corruptors as our Mutas. Oh my, that's a very high Corruptor count. 5 more Corruptors on the way. So Corruptors, of course, they are amazing when it comes to playing against mass Muta. Like, Corruptors are very tanky, they're very robust. And they should be able to hold their own. The downside, of course, is that they're a little bit more limited in what they can accomplish afterwards because they can't harass anywhere near as well as Mutas. But in a head-on fight, I do favor them. Meanwhile, Lings, they do get us around. He gets 1, he gets 2. Yeah, 2 Queens do fall. The Spore, the 3rd Queen as well. Mutas overwhelm. Where are the Corruptors? Out of position. Yeah, Corruptors out of position. Nice damage here by Reynor. Oh, he has to respect the Corruptors, though. Yeah, he's got to respect them. When we spoke about this earlier, Corruptors, they cannot support the Roaches on the ground. And the Roaches, they get surrounded. Ay, ay, ay. Some heavy losses there for Solar. Bleeding out a wave of Roaches. As Reynor, he's abusing the immobility here of Solar. Trying to pull him apart. More Lings trying to move out. Oh. Running into Roaches. And Solar does make his way across the map. And we'll see if Reynor can engage. Yeah, Roaches, they break through. Reynor is stuck with Mass Ling Muta, and he's going for the base trade. He's going for the base trade. He ignores the army, goes across the map. Trying to catch reinforcements. Corruptors, they respond. Yeah, so far good reaction here from Solar. Keeps up the Mutalisks. Roaches, they kill the expansion. At the same time, Lings, they try to move in. And they will. Okay, they hit the main and the natural. They bust into the mineral lines. Drone's going to be falling. Roaches, they turn back around. Uh-oh. Solar does turn around. He did kill 12 drones across the map, but back at home he's losing 9. Losing 9 workers. Oh. Corruptors are able to engage. Roaches, once again, they rush past. Yeah, they rush past. Looks like the Corruptors are being overwhelmed. Yeah, there's just too many Mutas. Oh my god. I wasn't sure they could, but the Mutas, they will overwhelm the Corruptors. Every Corruptor is falling. At the same time, Roaches, they commit in. They're trying to push in towards the mineral line, but they barely cannot. And Reynor holds. Yeah, Reynor, he's holding, he's defending. The Mutas, they come out on top. Solar, he lost every single Corruptor. Yeah, lost Corruptors. He lost the air battle as well. How many Corruptors left? 18. 18 Corruptors against 31 Mutalisks. With +2. True. They have +2. And remember, the soup is lying too. The soup is lying too. Even though Solar does have the supply advantage, that is inflated due to Roaches. It is inflated supply. Likewise, Reynor, he has the greater economy, has the higher worker counts. And Solar, he can't do anything. He can't move out. He can't make use of this army. And he's barely even defending. Barely. Now, Solar, at this point, he's just building up into one big push. Just building up into one big move out. Speaking of, it's happening. Once again, Corruptors are overwhelmed. We're up to 32 Mutalisks. Oof. And once again, Reynor, he can just engage. What's important as well is that he does engage ahead of time before the roaches get across the map. So Reynor, he has time to turn around and to respond to this. As roaches, they move in. Reynor, he will lose the third. He'll lose the third base, but again, Reynor, he will eventually clean this up with the Mutalisks. No. And GG. GG gets called again. Solar just can't do anything here. Not with his roaches, not with his corruptors. And Reynor, he will snowball out of control with the mass muta. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Reynor, he will take a lead in the series. We'll take a 2-0 lead here. Again, winding it back. Solar, he didn't have a bad start to the game. If you recall, I mean, again, Solar he didn't know what we knew, right? Solar didn't realize that Reynor was being so greedy, rushing into the lair and rushing into the spire. We mentioned at the time, but Solar, there was a window there where he might have even just killed Reynor with his +1 and carapace timing. And so that was the moment where Solar moved out with his lings. He killed the queen, he killed 3 drones, he denied mining as well. He was getting a surprising amount of damage with so little, but he was droning up behind it, right? He was droning, he was saturating. Again, Solar didn't realize how greedy Reynor was being, and as a result, once Reynor got into Spire play, into the mutas, I mean, that was almost game then and there, right? Solar was contained, Reynor was free to expand. We did see Solar invest into a heavy corruptor count, and he was able to hold his own, but upgrades amassed, and the reality is Reynor still builds up a greater Mutalist army and was able to pull Solar apart. When it comes to Ling run bys, Ling counterattacks, Muta play as well, in the end Solar's economy was crippled and he couldn't really keep up with his corruptor production, couldn't keep up with the Mutalisks. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into game number 3, and we'll see if Reynor can extend his lead. We'll see if Solar can begin the comeback. As we're jumping into Tourmaline, a very small map of the map pool. Small map of the map pool, short rush distance by grounds. Let's go. Let's go. Once again, as you can see here, muta play can be very oppressive, very, very oppressive if you can get away with it. And Reynor, he got away with it. Got away with it, back. Here we go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner here of Tourmaline, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the Italian Zerg, we have the blue Zerg leading the series 2-0. It is Reynor. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. Oh, let's go. Are we going for the same build? Are we both 10 pulling? Let's go. In the bottom left-hand corner, going for the 10 pull. So as his opponents, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg. It is Solar. Just realized I pressed the wrong buttons for the wrong intros, but it's fine. It's fine. Yo, he's got his Team Vitality shirt. Let's go. Ah, blast from the past, Pappy. But here we go. We're getting into game number 3 here again. 10 pool versus 10 pool. Mirrored builds. The reasoning for this is because of the map itself. Welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a very small map of the map pool. Short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored, and both players are embracing aggression. And we'll see how this kind of unfolds. I would imagine we just kind of bounce off each other and we just get into a macro game from here. There's a world where maybe one player avoids the links of his opponents, right? We avoid the overlords as we will scout each other. Curious as to the pathing. Okay, we're just going straight across. We're just going straight across. So Ling's gonna be moving out. And we'll see how hard we commit from here. So we have our Ling production. Where's the Spider-Man meme? True. Let's go. As both players do scout each other with the Overlord, so they both know. Who hits first? Oh! Yeah, again, they do bounce off each other, and we drone. So Reynor is droning. Solar is not. Okay, no, there we go. So Solar, he does drone up as well, a little bit later. So we are just kind of bouncing off each other. Bouncing off each other. Droning, saturating. Getting into the early game. Solar, he has to back off. Has to pull away. Whew, hi. Okay, so from here again we can just run up and saturate. Because the gases are so late, there's a very high chance we get into 2-base roach play from both players, and we might even go into 2-base meter. That's once we establish our natural, to be fair. Solar does have oh, he's actually at a link deficit. Okay, it does poke in. And the queen does move down. And Reynor will be able to engage. Now, without the queen, Reynor, he should have enough here. The voids are being pulled to make sure the queen doesn't get surrounded. And Reynor holds. And again, Reynor heals up by 2 drones. So that's why the fight did go slightly in favor of Solar initially, but Reynor gets away with a higher drone count with a better economy. This is a better start for Reynor. It's a better start. Like, sure, you can say, like, oh, damage was done to the queen and to the hatchery. That doesn't matter, right? This is basically a resource that was used. It was just buying time. So, better start for Reynor. Gas is now on the way. Solar does have a slight gas advantage over Reynor. That is true. And again, my question becomes, as Solar gets into main base, he does see the later gas geyser out of Reynor. And we'll see if Solar is tempted to go into a lair. Because he does know that his lair is going to be faster than Reynor's. 100%. What's going to be? Link speed. Okay, link speed first. Interesting. So this might be what we saw initially out of Solar on Winter Madness, where Solar walls off on 2 bases and then he hides a link flood. That's what this screams. But we're still mining gas. Interesting. So I'm leaning towards maybe like a link flood into lair, into spire. Reynor likewise walling off on 2 bases. Reynor, he should be skipping link speed and going into roach play into a lair as well. No, he also goes into... Okay. Great minds. They continue to think alike. Both players went into the 10... So they both went into the 10 pool, and both players are going into link speed into a link flood. Same follow-up. You can see here 14 links on the way for Solar. Reynor's also massing up Zerglings as well. They both have the same idea. Same idea. They're both animals. Ay. They're both synced up, Pappy. They're synced up. The Zerg brain, the hive mind. No. Now, there is a slight variation, of course. +1 carapace versus +1 melee. So a slight variance or slight differential when it comes to the follow-up. When it comes to the upgrades of choice. Here we go. Solo does finish up link speed first. He does reveal his army. And Reynor's getting ready. He's getting ready back at home. Third base is exposed. Solo wants to lure him out. A link speed is still not done for Reynor. Still no link speed. But so far he's defending. Oh. Pulls back to the queens. Nice control out of Reynor. And nice control so far. Lings, they do get a surround. And can they force a cancel? Hatchery gets low, but does survive. In the end, does survive. We do see a roach follow-up here by Solar. Again, the carapace leads into roach play. Melee less so. Oh, as Reynor does overextend. A bit of a late reaction. Bleeding out some extra lings. And Reynor does spot the roaches. He's aware of the follow-up. He wants to surround. Can he catch the roaches? He can. Massive surround here. He catches out the roaches. Gets 1, 2, 3. 3 roaches getting caught out. Queens as well. Ay. Yeah, some expensive losses here for Solar. Gets caught out in the open. Likewise gets another roach surrounded. And that's what, 4? 5 roach kills? Not the Ravager though. It was 4. So 4 roaches go down. Behind this, more lings on the way. A handful of defensive roaches as well for Reynor. But still 30 lings in production. That's a lot of Zerglings. It's a lot of lings, Pappy. And again, I'm imagining this is going to lead into Muta play, right? With all these 4 gases, with the lair finishing up as well, this should be for the Spire, in my mind at least. It lines up better with +1 melee. Yep, there it is. There's the Spire. So Solo's on a bit of a timer. Now, Solar, if he clicked on the Zerglings and if he sees +1 melee, it does scream Muta play. And you can see that Solar, he's not droning. He's not droning up. You can see here he's cutting works at 43. He's making more roaches, waiting for roach speed. And this should be leading into an all-in from Solar. to just strike with Mass Roach Ravager to try to kill Reynor before Muta play. God, there are so many links. Reynor dancing with the army, but he has to be very careful not to get caught out. Yeah, Solar, he commits. Remember, there's no roach speed here for Reynor. His roaches are lagging behind. And roach speed is almost done. Yeah, there are too many roaches. Too many roaches here. Reynor, I don't think he can quite engage. Reynor bleeding out roaches. Unable to catch reinforcements. And Soul is here. He's here to punish. He's here to punish, Pappy. So quite nice kiting. Avoids the surround. Ooh, reinforcements are gonna somewhat get caught though, but there's still so much Roach Ravager here for Solar. And Solar, he should have enough. We have Ling reinforcements. Okay, we come in for the surround. Okay, never mind. Surrounds the army. Yeah, comes in for the surround. Locking down the Ravagers. Very nice play here by Reynor. And is it enough? It's still close. We have 6 meters on the way. It's still close. Tusk gonna transfuse. Barely pulls back. Solar's overwhelming. Meters are popping up, but how many drone kills? How many drones are gonna go down? How much economic damage? As meters, they will eventually clean this up. Eventually. But there are the drone kills. Yeah, they bust into the mineral line, getting 1, 2, 3, 4 drone kills so far and counting. And this is too much. This is far too much at this point. Quickly becoming critical damage. And in the end, Reynor did not get away with it. Didn't get away with it. So 12 drone kills. 12 drones, pushing into the main. Getting up to 16. More links flooding into the mineral line. And this is critical damage. Critical damage. Again, Reynor, he was greedy. He tried to get away with Mass Muta. This time he did not get away with it. This time Solar committed to the all-in. This is what I wanted out of Solar on Title Citadel, if you remember. It's what I wanted out of the game too. And with that, the Spire goes down. What you see is what you get. 14 Mutalisks. And back at home, all the Solar needs is spores. Spores are on the way. Queens are amassing as well. We have 1 spore in each mineral line. Additional spore crawlers just in case. Reynor, he's down to 10 drones. Down to 9 workers even. And these meters, they got a lot of work to do. They're huffing some copium, Pappy. 100%. Where's he? I mean, there's a world where if we're lacking spores back at home, if the queens are spread out, then maybe. But yeah, GG gets called, and Solar, he'll put a point on the board, looking to tie up the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We have a back and forth here. Solar, he was able to punish, and we have a series. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, sorry. There we go. It's on the wrong. Beautiful. But we are getting ready for our next game. Going to be loading into the Old Republic. But again, winding it back, it was a really interesting dynamic here where both players were kind of synced up. We did have the 10 pull into the Link Flood as well, but the follow-up was very different. Because of +1 melee, Reynor, he was kind of telegraphing that it was going to go into Muta play, whereas Solo with +1 Carapace, he had a cleaner transition into a Ling Roach all-in, right? Into a Ling Roach all-in, so he was able to move out. He was able to punish Reynor for trying to rush into Mutas, especially on Tourmaline. It was just a really greedy maneuver by Reynor. I should have emphasized that a little bit further, but this map, the map specifically Tourmaline, is a very small map, short rush distance by ground, so ground aggression is favored on this map, so the Roach all-in hit even harder than it would on a larger map like Winter Madness or even the Old Republic. So in the end, Reynor, he was punished, and that is leading us here into our next game. We're going to be loading into Game 4, the Old Republic. Vamonos. Vamonos. So spawning in the bottom hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Basilisk. Still leading the series, 2-1, and we'll see if he can extend that lead. It is Reynor. God damn it. Hold on. Okay. And spawning in the... There we go. There he is, Pappy, there he is. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent getting 10 pulled again. Okay, going for another 10 pull. Reynor is. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg looking to tie up the series, putting a point on the board. It is Solar. Here we go. Here we go, as again, Reynor does go for his early 10 pull, once again going for the early Ling aggression, the early Lings, and Solar currently is unaware. Solar, he will have a couple of seconds to react with his Overlord scouting the Lings moving out across the map, and just like we saw in game 1, it's going to be on Solar to micro his units, micro his drones, and to minimize losses and have a stronger defense. It's all about that early game micro. Meanwhile, we'll see if Reynor can out-control. If he can out-control... If you remember, this is a role reversal of game 1. Game 1 is where Reynor was able to shut down the 10 pull and come out ahead. We'll see if Solar can do the same. So we have our Ling Flood. Lings are moving out. Reynor, he will expand. It feels like 10 pulls are the new 12 pull, where it's not an all-in. It's a way to get damage done early on and take a lead early on as well, but you do expand behind it and you do drone behind it. But the goal here is economic damage. Enough economic damage to take a lead, if not completely overwhelm. As of course Solar is aware. Lings are revealed. And Solar, he does have to pull the boys. There we go. As I mentioned before, it all comes down to the control, comes down to the micro. Solar, he has to minimize drone losses. So minimize losses and buy time. So far, nice damage here by Reynor. Ooh, gets one. Yeah, one drone goes down already. Oh, and Solar's gonna lose everything. Oh god, heavy losses here. Solar, that was not the surround to go for. He was too premature. He was too premature here too soon. He will lose everything, and with that, Reynor, he will out control. Big misjudgment there from Solar to engage too early, too soon. 10 drone kills the natural expansion. That is game-ending damage. And Solar, again, just fumbling the ball early on here. GG gets called. Reynor takes a 3-1 lead in the series. Whew, GG. And GG, well played. So when it comes to that defense, again, it's very similar to a 12 pool defense, but Solar, he engaged too soon. I'm not saying that he pulled the boys too soon. That was fine, but he should not have taken that fight. It's just about poking, prodding, dancing with the army, waiting for your Lings to have more progression, of course, and to be a little bit more careful. Because Solar engaged too quickly, he started losing drones very fast. Whereas ideally, you want to buy time for your Lings and buy time for reinforcements to arrive instead, because you cannot win that head-on fight, even with that attempted surround. Like, the surround wasn't too bad there for Solar, but he was just overwhelmed by the higher Ling counts. GG. GG, well played. With that, Reynor, he does take a lead. I will say that specifically when it comes to 10 pulls as well, because the patch is so new, I'm sure that likewise players are also getting a little bit more experience as these games progress with how to correctly defend against 10 pulls and how to correctly like judge like when to engage, how to engage, and all that stuff. Like it feels like there's going to be a slight learning curve getting into more games like this as players get a little bit more comfortable when it comes to that 10 pull defense. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we do have the Italian Zerg player. Oh, we switched colors again. Lovely. There we go. We have the Italian Zerg. We have the blue Zerg representing Basilisk, leading the series 3-1. It is Reynor. God damn it, I keep pressing the wrong button. There we go. They just keep switching up on me. What can I do, Pappy? What can I do? They keep switching. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg. It is Solar. Beautiful. Go rocking that old Team Vitality jersey. Do love to see it. So now we are going to be opening up. This time we're joining, right? This time we're joining. This time there's no early game shenanigans. A lot of the cats are hype on that one. If you're referring about the last game, I did say that was game-winning damage. Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? If you're referring to the 10 pool defense. Meanwhile, it is going to be pool first out of both Solar and Reynor. Unless that was in reference to a different game. True. We have our pool first. With this pool first into our hatchery. This is not to be hyper aggressive. We can apply some pressure, of course, as well, but we're going to be opening up with delayed gases. Because the gas is going to be so late, once again, it looks like 2-base play. From here, we can go into 2-base roach hole-ins. We can go into 2-base lair into 2-base mutas. We'll see. We shall see. As we have 6lings on the way for Reynor. Just to apply pressure. And to maybe find some drone damage. Oh, we're actually holding off on that. Okay. Interesting. Solar, he will scout. He will confirm the hatchery timing. Likewise, so does Reynor. They both confirm early pool. And it does mean that these early lings from Reynor, they're not really going to pay off here. This is a better start for Solar. As you can see, Solar, he's on 19 drones compared to the 17 of Reynor. This is because Reynor invests into these early lings, but he can't really use them. Zerglings, they cannot be used. So slight edge for Solar. From here, we're going to be taking gases, and as we mentioned before, the goal here is for us to find out whether it is 2-base lair, 2-base muta, 2-base roach, 2-base roach all-in. There are basically 3 options. I guess the 4th option is link speed into a link flood. Which, if you recall, we did see on Tourmaline from both players. Reynor still has no gases, by the way. So with the 100 gas, you can see no link speed is being researched, so we have access to a faster lair. I'm curious as to what Reynor's plan is going to be, though. There we go. Now gases are being taken. Much faster lair here by Solar. Faster lair, faster tech. Faster Spire as a result. I'm assuming Spire, but again, we'll see. Meanwhile, Reynor is going to be one step behind. Oh, that is +1 range on the way. Never mind. Is the plan to go into roach speed? Again, the other option, as we mentioned before, is to go into roach speed into a roach all-in. That's very early +1 range. It could be a fake out. Show us what you got. As the lair is soon finishing. Wings are deflected. Solar still has the better economy. Slightly. And yep, there it is. Roach speed. Just rushing into roach speed. I believe Reynor just saw that. I believe he just spotted the upgrade. That's hard to say. I don't think he saw it researching. Reynor, he was forced back. Behind this, Reynor playing catch-up. Again, Reynor, he's going to be slightly behind in terms of tech. Slightly later +1. Later lair, later roach speed. Roach is already amassing here for Solar. And Solar, he's on 44 workers. We'll see if he stops at 44. Again, Ruby Rock is a smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground, so these pushes, these all-ins, they hit even harder on this map. And we're waiting for that timing. Upgrades are almost done. And we'll see if Reynor can hold. So it is important to note that defensively, roach speed doesn't really matter as much. So yes, he's going to be lacking when it comes to certain upgrades and certain tech, but he will have queens to help defend, right? He's going to have queens, going to have transfuse that will make up for it a little bit. And here comes Solar. He's still waiting a little bit longer here. Almost done. Yeah, he's setting up the highway here. Here comes the all-in. Solar coming worse at 44. Reynor did run up a little bit further here, so a little bit of greedy play out of Reynor. Oh, Solar, he drones up behind this. His heart isn't in it. Solar, he now starts droning. Solar, he believes that he cannot kill Reynor. And so far, so good. Reynor's holding on. Again, Reynor, he does have the transfuse. Ooh, one queen gets caught. Yeah, we'll lose the queen. We have more reinforcements on the way, and Reynor holds. Reynor, he does hold, he does defend. And now Reynor, with the higher drone count earlier, will be able to start past Solar. Oof. So again, this timing from Solar, it did not do enough. Solar now trying to catch up. Does at least have that upgrade advantage. Like, we have a window where +2 is going to be available for Solar as well. But this is a rough start. A rough start for Solar. The early timing didn't achieve what he needed it to. Reynor now taking a lead. Or getting more comfortable, I should emphasize. Jesus. As Reynor, he does pick out. Just trading with the army, forcing out more roaches, forcing out a greater response. I believe Solar should be able to defend here. Yeah, reinforcements are arriving that much faster. Solar does have the defender's advantage. Solar is holding on. And Reynor just needs a little bit more time. Oh, the contamination. Okay, the contamination. Let's go. Delaying +2 even further. There's going to be a big window here with +2 for the advantage for Solar. He will have that +2 advantage for much, much longer. Solar, he can still make use of this. Reynor setting up back at home. Claiming his 4th base. Upgrades are just now finishing up. Solar, calm down. That's your own overlord, Pappy. Calm down. Calm down, Solar. Oh, as he does push up the ramp. Yeah, Solar, he commits. Again, Solar, he has +2. He does have the upgrade advantage, and with that, Solar, he may just overwhelm. Yeah, just rallying everything across the map. And Solar, he's gaining ground. He's gaining ground. He's breaking on through. Queens, they arrive to help. But the numbers just are not there for Reynor. Nice focus fighting. Takes out one of the Ravagers. There's one Ravager left for both players. Oh, we have more reinforcements trickling in. Reynor, he's holding. He's holding on Pappy. Again, still down in upgrades, but he does have the high ground. Gets extra volleys off. Does punish the retreat. And nice punish out of Reynor. And Reynor, he's holding on. +2 is almost done for Reynor. He's catching up. He's catching up, Pappy. And again, this entire time, Reynor, he's had that worker advantage up by almost 10 workers. So again, better economy, better production, larger army. And once again, Solar, he will miss that timing. He fails to break the 3rd. And Reynor's done it. Reynor, he's done it. He's breaking through. Remember, we need to, as Reynor, he was just 1 game away from claiming the series. And will overwhelm. There's just too many roaches, too much here from Reynor. Solar, he did have some strong timings available with +1 and with +2, but it was not good enough. It was not good enough. In the end, the aggression failed. And Reynor, he'll snowball out of control. He snowballs out of control, breaks through the main army. We're down to 2 queens and a handful of roaches. And it's not going to be good enough. Ah. Not like this. Piles the mineral line. He breaks through and GG gets called. Reynor, he will overwhelm, and Reynor, he will be our GSL CK number 4 champion. GG. Ah, look at the smirk. Reynor, he was so he was so expressionless throughout the entire broadcast until now. Ah, content, Pappy. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here, Reynor. He will claim the series. He'll claim the series. He will take it 4-1. A bit of a blemish here in the finals, losing 1 game to Solar, but just the one here. As again, it was very chaotic back and forth. We experienced a lot of 10 pools. We experienced a lot of 2-base heavy play as well. 2-base Muta, 2-base Roach All-ins. Once again, winding it back here in this final game, Solar, he did have a very strong +1 timing and +2 timing as well. But if you recall, Solar, he did kind of second guess himself here when it comes to the first push. I don't blame him. Like, Reynor was also setting up defensively. Reynor, he did drone up a little bit further, that is true, but not by too much. So in the end Reynor, he did back off. Sorry, Solo did back off. He did drone. It did mean that Reynor, he had the greater economy, and that did kick in. That kicked in coming into the mid game as well. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Reynor for becoming our champion. GG. We can have a look at the bracket as well, and it looks like there's going to be an interview. Okay, let's go. Looks like there is going to be a winner's interview. Now I don't think that I can get into a voice call with them, but I believe. Hold on. I would I need Shin's channel. So Solo's gonna translate. And Reynor will have an interview with Shin. 1 minute with Shin and Ryang.
오케이. 서버 초대하기.
So, un moment.
채널은 비공개라는데.
따로 하나 파야겠네.
So it looks like they're getting the interview ready. And I'm curious what Reynor's thoughts are. I mean, again, so winding it back a little bit here, this tournament here, as Reynor does claim the series, he took down Classic 3-0, took down Maru 3-1, and did take down Solar 4-1 in the grand finals as well. So strong showing here by Reynor. Bearing in mind that this was basically the first big event that was testing the changes to the PTR, and very controversial at that, because we had some very wild changes made that maybe weren't the most thought out changes, especially in the first iteration. We mentioned this earlier. I should emphasize it once again, but there was a shadow patch, a shadow like hotfix that was applied today, and more changes were made. Basically they pulled back a little bit on certain changes, and now the larva increase has been reduced. It's still faster, it's still greater than the live version of the game, but has been reduced from day 1. So between day 1 and day 2 there have been some changes made, but again, this is already after Maru Classic and Hero were knocked out, right? It's already sorry, Showtime Classic and Hero were knocked out. It's already after that it occurred. So because of that, we saw some Zerg heavy play here tonight. Maru, he was making references to it earlier where he was like, yo, I can't even tell that like that the lava increase was diminished. Like it was still crazy. Crazy. But again, just waiting for the players to for Shin to try to like scramble together an interview. When it comes to the consensus so far, I mean, obviously there was a lot of backlash to the changes that were implemented in day 1. In day 1, when it comes to that larva increase, it did mean for stronger early game, stronger mid game play for Zerg players, and we saw the Terrans and Protosses struggle to keep up as a result of that. We saw Clem, Hero, and Classic struggle in that respect. And likewise, you mentioned that because of that dominance, it didn't really allow us to actually perceive some of the changes to Protoss and Terran because we didn't get to that stage, referring to the ghosts, referring to the gateway changes as well. But it looks like we have our interview.
Obviously, when we played yesterday, patch was very broken, and today they fixed it, but I haven't played any more games against us other than yesterday, so I would have to play a bit more.
일단 어제는 너무 저그가 사기였기 때문에 오늘 그래서 핫픽스 된 걸로 알고 있는데 일단 게임을 조금밖에 안 해봐서 확실하게 말할 수는 없을 것 같습니다. 근데 어제는 되게 좋았던 것 같습니다.
그럼 오늘 마루랑 했을 때 테란전은 좀 달라진 게 느껴졌나요?
Do you feel any difference against Maru today?
No, actually, it felt pretty balanced in a way. Like I think early game is harder for Zerg because everything comes faster. I would say mid game is slightly easier, but overall, like he lost games because he made game losing mistakes, and I lost my game because I made game losing mistakes. So it felt pretty balanced against Maru at least.
제 생각엔 밸런스가 굉장히 잘 맞는 것 같고요. 초반이 저그가 확실히 훨씬 모든 것들이 빨리 때문에 좀 더 빡세진 부분이 있는 것 같고.
The bias from Ryang.
이제 중반 단계에서는 저그가 좀 더 쉽게 느껴지는 그런 부분이 있었던 것 같고, 그리고 이제 서로 지고 이기고 했잖아요. 그런 경기들에서 서로 이제 질 수밖에 없었던 큰 실수들이 있었기 때문에 게임을 굉장히 밸런스가 잘 맞는다고 생각합니다.
밸런스적인 부분의 문제라기보다는 이제 플레이어들의 실수가 좀 있었기 때문에 졌다 이런 얘기인 것 같고, 그러면 만약 어제 점프전을 해봤고 쩌태전을 해봤는데 만약에 테란전과 토스전 고쳐야 된다면 어느 정도쯤은 좀 고쳐야 된다고 생각해요.
This is Ryung asking the question.
밸런스 패치적으로.
밸런스 치자고. As a Zerg against Protoss or Terran, do you think anything we have to change about it? What do you feel?
Well, this is a bit maybe controversial, but I think the Reaper is coming too fast now, and I'm sure there's going to be some builds where Hatch First is not viable against. So I would like to see Hatch First as a standard opening and not something you can gamble on. But other than that, I think the late game, like I think the problem about this patch is once we figure everything out, I'm just afraid that it's gonna be the same stuff over again. You know, like mothership carriers, ghost camping, and all of that.
일단 테란전 같은 경우에는 일단 선압이 저는 정석이 되어야 된다고 생각하는데 사신이 너무 빨리 오기 때문에 선풀이 강제적으로 될 수밖에 없어서 그게 좀 아쉬운 것 같고 그 부분을 이제 고쳐줬으면 좋겠고.
We'll add our own commentary after the interview.
토스전은 이런 부분이 아니라
We'll
이제
let him talk. We'll
후반,
let him speak.
그 마더십, 그 모선 그리고 이제 폭풍함 이런 후반 사기 유닛들을 좀 너프해야 되지 않을까 싶습니다.
그래요? 희범이 질문 있어?
그러면은 만약에 이제 테란이 그러니까 그럼 지금 만약에 그 8마리 패치는 좀 어떻게 보는지 궁금한데.
일꾼 8마리.
8마리.
What do you think about 8 workers then?
This is Shin asking.
Well, I don't like it. I think it's just a step in the wrong direction, and I think it's pretty useless, and it just slows down the early game. And I think, as I said, there's gonna be some builds. Like even like 10 pool feels insanely hard to hold in ZvZ if you go hatch first. Like you have to have a perfect response. This kind of stuff I really don't like. It's just gambling and I don't know, just a step in the wrong direction, in my opinion.
일단은 저는 이렇게 8마리로 된 거 굉장히 부정적이고요. 모든 걸 초반 빌드들을 모든 걸 느리게 하고 그리고 이제 정석 저저전 같은 경우에도 선압을 하게 되면 거의 10%를 막는 게 엄청 힘들기 때문에 그러니까 선압이 일단 그래도 하면 어느 정도 막아야 된다고 생각을 해가지고 굉장히 부정적이고 굉장히 잘못된 방향으로 가고 있다고 생각합니다.
오케이. 뭐?
그러면 뭐 지금 이제 마지막으로 GSL 어쨌든 뭐 이벤트 되긴 하지만 한국 분들한테 오랜만에 이제 이렇게 인사를 했는데 한번 한국 분들한테 그냥 한마디.
롤 아나운서 할 거냐고 물어보.
Will you play StarCraft instead of League of Legends?
Oh, that's the real
There's
question.
tournaments, yeah, sure. I feel like playing StarCraft.
대회가 있다면 당연히 스타크래프트 할 건데 대회가
Ah, the hard-hitting questions, Pappy.
알겠어.
Ah.
그냥 마지막 한마디 한국 팬들한테.
Last word for the Korean fans.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the invite. I had a lot of fun, and yeah, hopefully see you in another GSL in the future if it happens. I'll see if I can come back to Korea.
오.
Let's
대충 다 알아들으셨죠,
go.
여러분?
네.
다음에 GSL 하면 GSL에서 봅시다.
오케이. 땡큐 레이나.
Thank you,
Thank you
Reynor.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Shout out to Shin, shout out to Ryung for casting the event and for, of course, conducting the interview. Shout out to Solar for being the translator. Despite losing, despite coming second, Solar, he was kind enough to jump on for an impromptu translation. So big shout out to Solar, again, Shin and Ryung. And likewise, a big shout out to GSL for hosting the event. You know, again, Patreon is the place to be, support the tournament as well. Now, very quickly in regards to some of the answers here, a lot of this is just a lot of common, I would say, concerns about the patch. We spoke about this briefly previously as well, and again, it's hard to like run an event like this without discussing the patch at least a little bit. As always, you know, try to be constructive with your feedback and with your comments regarding the patch itself. But one of the common concerns with the patch is that it isn't addressing some of the bigger issues in the game currently. Reynor, he alluded to late game ZVP. The other big one, of course, is mid to late game TVP as well. A lot of the Protoss matchups in the mid to late game are a little bit problematic, right? We're referring to like Protoss gaining map control and going into a mass gateway setup. I will say that potentially the warp gate changes are supposed to try to remedy that, and then we also have like late game Sky Toss and ZVP as well. It's important to bear in mind that we did see players attempt to rush Sky Toss in this tournament and they failed to do so, but this is not the same as like building up and your ideal like death ball of a Sky Toss late game army. A big reason why they struggled to do so was because they failed, or they couldn't be active in the early game because of the gateway changes, and it forced more defensive play. But like if the game stabilizes stabilizes and if we're able to once again embrace the mid to late game on a much more regular basis, then nothing has been done about that. You can definitely make an argument that the one change that was made that will be impacting that kind of later stage of the game is the ghost changes. And if you've been watching the first 2-3 weeks of the PTR, you would have seen that the ghost has been dominant in late game TvZ, but that's why in this PTR update there were some amendments, there were some changes made to the ghost, but we didn't really get to experience any of that because of the lava change that we had. We saw a lot of games end much earlier, and we didn't really allow both Maru or Clem really much opportunity to embrace the ghosts and to be able to use them against like a Brulid Infestor army or like an ultra based army or anything like that. It's mainly Brulid Infestor. The games just didn't really get there. This is the big issue that I had that we expressed at the start of the broadcast, that because of the lava change, it's overshadowing everything else, right? It's not really allowing us to see, you know, what changes or what impact the new gateway changes have provided or what impact the ghost changes have provided as well. Like it's just kind of overshadowing everything else and hasn't allowed anything else to really see the light of day, which is important for testing purposes, right? Like we need to see these changes. We need to know if we've gone too far, not far enough, what other changes need to be made. But there are definitely aspects of the game which haven't really been addressed, which a lot of people were hoping for, right? They were hoping for something to be done about mid-game TVP, for example, late-game PVT, late-game PVZ, and yeah, that hasn't really been addressed in the PTR, unfortunately. I will say, as I said before, that it's a good thing that we had like that shadow patch that did make some adjustments. Like clearly that shows us that Blizzard is paying attention, or they felt the need of like very quickly like, oh my god, like this is maybe too much and this is unintended and we need to quickly pull back. So I think it's a good thing that happened. And I'll say something that I've been saying the entire week or the entire PTR, and it's getting a little bit old at this point, but I'm just hoping that we get more changes or more updates like this on a much more regular basis. We cannot wait 3 weeks for another PTR update. We can't wait that long, like no shot. I understand that we're on a timer where we're a little bit strapped for time when it comes to pushing the game live. For those that are unaware, there may be some people that are unaware, BlizzCon is on the horizon, and I believe the idea is for us to have the new map pool and have the new live version of the game ready for BlizzCon, because we have the RSL finals at BlizzCon, but we also have the Blizzard Cup, right? Like there's like a Blizzard like show match event happening, which also has StarCraft at BlizzCon. That's in September, and September is not that far away. Like it's it's right around the corner. We're getting into July, so there is a bit of like a time limit to try to iron everything out in time for BlizzCon. So I understand that, but yeah, I'm hoping that we can have some changes pushed through. When it comes to like the worker count change, so very quickly, Reynor, he of course expressed that he wasn't really too fond of it. The idea and the goal for the worker count change is to increase diversity. Everyone knows this. Everyone's been saying it. That's the goal. I think what a lot of people are finding is that it's failing to achieve that goal. That it's not achieving what the intention. So if it isn't achieving that, then we should consider maybe pulling back on it and reverting it or adjusting things a different way. I think the issue right now when it comes to like adjusting things a different way, I think they want like a big fundamental foundational change to the game, which I'm not opposed to personally. But the problem is that we're already 4 weeks into the PTR, and to, for example, to like go for a hard switch from like a lower worker count into going back to 12 workers, but like changing like the base placement or changing the mineral patch placement to slow down worker income, or to go for like a macro mechanic change and to make a change to like the mule and to chrono boost and to injections, or remove it entirely or whatever. It feels a little bit too late to test that now, right? Like we're already 4 weeks in. Don't know how long we have left for the PTR, so if they wanted to make a foundational change, and if the lower worker count isn't working, then it feels like we're running out of time to try something else. It feels like a little bit too late for that. Is the issue that we've now found ourselves in. So yeah, we'll see what happens, of course. And again, big shout out to GSL and to Soup for making this event a reality. Big shout out to all the patrons and supporters as well on the Patreon to be able to fund this event as well. Big shout out to Shin. He was a big part of organizing this, bringing together all the players and creating this kind of like GSL versus the world-esque bracket to test the PTR changes. And clearly, like, this did have an impact. That's why we had like the knee-jerk reaction, like shadow patch. They made a bunch of changes, so you know that's in the end that is like a beneficial thing. Like that is it's good that happened, but yeah, the PTR is still a work in progress, and it still feels a little bit aimless. It still feels a little bit directionless. It still feels undercooked for sure, and we got to get him in the kitchen, Pappy. We got to So we'll see. It's catching up in the chat. Right, with the level-headed commentaries. I mean, it's just, I feel like the people that are a little bit more unreasonable, they're just on Reddit, and it can be hard to drown that out for sure, or it can be hard to like sift through that and find something that's maybe a little bit more constructive. But yeah, I think my big concern at this point, because for me personally, I was all for making like these more foundational changes to the economy, or to the perceived economy, or to the rate of expansion and the rate of growth in StarCraft 2. Initially, I was all for that, but again, because we're already 4 weeks in, at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm in the group of people that's like, you know what, just go back to 12 workers. Like, it's if it's not working, and if we're running out of time, and if we can't like refine it in time and find like a good solution, as we work towards a live game, like at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm in the group of like, you know what, just abandon it, focus on other things, and focus on other changes instead. I think it's just too late. I think too much time has passed, but we'll see. You know, maybe we get the PTR for like another 8 weeks. Who knows? Who knows, Pappy? Who knows? But regardless, with that, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it. And we're going to be heading off here for the time being. Again, the GSL CK is a monthly event every single month. Twice a month even, we should be seeing a GSL CK. And we, of course, will be bringing you that here over on Soup. And eventually will be uploaded to YouTube for VODs as well. So we will get you over on YouTube. Once again, big shout out to Soup. Once again, if you want to help support this tournament, and if you want GSL Season 3 to become a reality, you can do so over on Patreon. Patreon.com/GSL is the place to be to support GSL and to allow for more of these events to happen, and to help support the community and help support StarCraft. And again, shout out to Shin once again for making this happen. Big shout out to Shin. With that, thanks for watching. When it comes to the rest of our schedule here, I don't think we have the updated graphic yet. Let's quickly double check here. Bam. Oh, we do. Okay, here we go. So when it comes to this week, do you see what's towards the end of the week? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Doyu Cup. Doyu Cup is this week. If you maybe haven't heard, Doyu Cup is a big event happening over in China, and it is going to be a big Legends tournament, basically. Some old school players are coming back. We got Innovation, we have Scarlet, we have Trap, we have Su, there's some other big names. Neeb, yo, Neeb, he's returning as well. Oliveira. Basically a bunch of old school retired players, fantasy as well, and many others. They've all been invited into a big event, and it's going to be happening over in China. It will begin on Thursday, and we're going to be casting it live here on the CranKy Ducklings. Again, we cast StarCraft on a daily basis. As you can see here, we have the Tuna Cup, we have Pixel Cup, we have the Pondcast, which is our weekly talk show where we do discuss all things StarCraft, going over the PTR, going over the patch. I believe Harsum has a David Kim interview that's coming out soon, so we'll be discussing that as well. We already spoke about the Tim Morton interview, and of course all things StarCraft. So again, plenty of content here. Typically we cast twice a day, every single day, but in 2026 we're slowing things down a little bit. It is nice to sleep and get some rest, so once a day sort of thing is when we're live. We cast all the StarCraft that we can. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later in the week for Doyu Cup. We'll see you guys for some of these other open tournaments, bearing in mind that Masters of the Game is also around the corner. Home Story Cup is also around the corner as well. There's a lot of StarCraft going on. There's a lot of content that's going to be occurring, of course, and do check it out. I believe Doyu Cup is also going to be on the PTR, if I remember correctly. I believe it's going to be on the PTR, so that's also going to be interesting. But regardless, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time, whether it's for some more GSL CK or whether it's for some of our other content. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, thanks for watching. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.